I'm here today to show you the greatest book ever. For Halloween, you ready? Well, it's second best because I was gonna check out it. Y'all clown lovers. Yeah, you're clown lovers. Yeah. I was gonna start on I just had it in my head. It's uncut. Yeah, that's gonna be an uncut playlist. The first one, but no. I couldn't buy it for $4.99. Yeah. Well, I got a book that I had to pull off from the shelf and dust it off and like, you know what I'm saying, right? Anyway, it's called A Ghostly Cry. A Ghostly Cry is a true encounters with the paranormal. This sounds like Halloween all over it. And you know what the scary part is? All this is true knowledge. Yeah. You know what's even scarier? I've seen a ghost. And you know what's even scarier than that? All of you who don't believe me. Oh! Just a heads up, the light may be a lot brighter when I come back. Because it's like 7-ish, 8-ish around my time. I don't know about yours. When I get to reading this, don't worry, y'all clown fans, I will get that book. I will get it, and y'all are going to listen to it every freaking chapter. And don't worry, uncut videos are coming, and don't worry. There's some weird stuff happening in them. Trust me. Trust me. See you real soon. Told you it'd be brighter. And I got a confession. For you, it might just been like hardly even a second. For me, it's been about probably about 3 weeks, maybe at the most. Anyway, you're about to hear me read. Okay, I'll be back. Okay, I'm back. Now let's start with Uncle Clayton. Next up, we got Death is a Lady. Yeah! Death is a Lady by Simon R. Green. Sorry. I once had a near-death experience. This was back in 1972, before they fashionable and everyone was having them. Which is probably why my bears little or no resemblance to latter descriptions. Or perhaps I just need to be different in everything. I was on a walking holiday in the Lake District. 17 years old, bright and bushy-tailed, hairy halfway down my back. Well, it was 1972, of course. I walked 15 miles a day and spent all evening in the pub. I couldn't do that now. It would kill me. Halfway through the week, I took a nasty fall, split my head open, and woke up in the hospital. But while I was out, I had a dream. That was not a dream. It did not feel anything like a dream, but it was some years before I was able to put a name to it. There was darkness, and then I was sitting in a stuffed leather chair before a crackling open fire. An open Victorian study, books on the wall, gas lamps, blocky old Victorian furniture, slow ticking clock. A bit dark, but not gloomy, peaceful. It was a place I had never seen before or since, but I felt immediately at home there. Sitting in the chair on the other side of the fire was a tall, dark-haired, pale-faced woman dressed in black, the height of Victorian fashion. She was beautiful, and although I had never seen her before, I trusted her immediately. I can see her face as clear now as then, but it is no one I have ever known. I felt in love with her at first sight. She knew and smiled, understanding. She was death. I knew that as clear as I know my name. She told me in a warm, reassuring voice that I had come too soon. It was not my time yet, and I had to go back. I did not want to go back, but she was sympathetically insisted. I could not stay. It was not my time. She would see me again, eventually, and I woke up in the hospital, stitches in my head. The experience was real to me than anything else I had ever known. It is real to me now. Every moment of that experience remains clear and distant to me. And I know that when my time finally comes, she'll be waiting to greet me there. As she promised, death is a lady.
Next up is Into the Generation.
Unto the Third Generation by Anne Caffery. I had known that my grandmother had the second sight, which she was loath to use as it went against her very strong Catholic sense of ethics. After all, prodigy is a penna and not a respectable. But my mother and I inherited from her. I think I got more appreciates than my mother did, but we both home and on the same day, even if we were far apart, as I shall tell you. I was at boarding school in Virginia, and my mother some 40 miles away in Clarksville, when I woke up about 3 in the morning, very restless, certain something was wrong, and I wondered about the cordons of the dorms, avoiding the night watchman, for I would have been reported for being out of my room. Almost an hour and a half later, suddenly the restlessness and fear went away, and I was so sleepy I could scarlet and make it back to the bed. Next day I was called into the dean's office and told there a person called, which I knew be allowed to take this once because of my scenario. The dean knew that both my father and my brother had been sent overseas, and my mother urgently needed to speak to me. Mother got right to the point. Had I had any problem sleeping last night? It turned out that we were both awake for the same period of time. Neither of us could pinpoint the anxiety on either Hugh or my father. But we did know that what had happened had turned out well. It was nearly 4 months before we found out what promoted the event. Mail from overseas, those little V mail types, was very slow at first, so we weren't surprised to get a whole batch from my father and sat down to read in order. We had been happening to him. The night we had been appreciative. We had been in a lifeboat in the middle of a corvette during a German submarine attack that had lasted an hour and a half. I also had the ability to find things, though it has never been an exceptional, useful, or reliable ability. Just when I most need it, it usually declines to perform. However, I do remember an occasional when it worked just fine. My husband had a pair of fine cufflinks, rough lumps of gold nugget with a small permanent set in them. Very attractive, and he used them for special occasions. One day, he could only find the one and was furious. He had me searching high and low and in between. I vowed I would find them by evening. After he left for work, I took myself upstairs and into my older son's room, opening his top drawer and going through the rolled up socks, and found the missing cuffs folded in one sock's toe. Probably it had fallen into the dirty clothes basket, with my husband keep beside the chest of drawers. It had gotten into a sock and been put away. Hermione was restored, although my husband never did believe my tale of how I found it. I have also had several experiences with telepathic, generally involving persons previously unknown to me. The best one occurred here in Ireland when I was seeing a mortgage. I had just received news that Bantama had brought the paperback rights to the Harper Hall's book from Anthem, half of them enough to use the draw payment on a house in Ireland. So I went to see my bank manager and showed him the letter. A woman should have this money, and was what I heard, although as I was watching his reaction to the letter, his mouth had not moved. This being Ireland, I could well believe he had thought just that. After he had hummed and howled, I thanked him for his time and took back my letter and changed banks. Back to my grandmother, her favorite sister, Annie, for whom both I and my mother were named, had died before my grandmother could see her one last time. And grandmother was very worried about how heaven was pleasing Annie. So one night, in an extreme of anxiety for her sister's well-being, she called up her spirit. According to what she told my mother, Anxiety appeared shadowily over her shoulder, hands folded over the ends at her waist, in very characteristic pose. My grandmother summoned enough courage to ask her if she was happy. "Well, it's not bad," Annie said, in a laugh less than exotic tone, which was a characteristic, terrified to have done so uncatholic a thing. Grandmother dismissed the spirit and prayed all night in the expansion of this sin. She never again made us her power, which may be why why mother and I never had any of it. Just as well, what we did get has both a trial as well as a revolution, generally when it was least needed.
Hope you like it, or hope you like the book, or part of the books I read. And I honestly don't know where to get this. I just got it from a library. It was slightly used. Free deal. Or not free deal. It cost like $1 for me, but I'm pretty sure you can get it at any store. I just gotta hurry because at the time I am running a little late for things. I'm recording this on a Monday. As if you know, it's on a Monday, and thank you. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and adios amigos, and chili changas for breakfast, and all that jazz.